good morning, beautiful people, and happy Thursday to you. I'm going to ask you if you are at all possible to have your camera on so that we can experience your physiological energy. We would really appreciate that. It is cold, it is raining, but we are here. I'm super excited to be here with you this morning, coming fresh out of a meditative state, just in a space of gratitude for each one of you all. Grateful to be alive, grateful to be able to breathe in and out. I'm grateful to be able to get into the think tank where we sharpen each other's skills. I'm super grateful for you guys. If you can't hear, grateful and gratitude is just permeating from my energy. That's where I'm at. Dan, we got some more people in the waiting room. We want to let those folks in. We're going to get straight to it. We've got a full day today. I'm going to start off by giving a shout out to Elias for putting together the database day yesterday. Humongous success. It's a beautiful experience when we come together as a team, and our ultimate objective is to sharpen each other's skills, right? To really get into a war room setting, close the door, open our laptops, be poured into, and then produce a return on that investment. We were booking appointments, we were script role playing, we were laughing, we were having fun. Of course, in traditional team fast fashion, a lot of us, left with a few shots of tequila in our system. So we worked hard and we played hard, and then everyone went about their day. So before I allude any further, Elias, if you have something that you want to contribute or you want to speak to, in terms of the impact of yesterday's database day. I want to pass you the mic, coach.
Yeah, you guys, way to show up for yourself, for your business. I thought the energy was great. I thought the session was really powerful, but obviously, if it doesn't land for you, it doesn't really matter, right? I want to make sure that you guys are there and you get something out of it. The reason why we did database days first, as the first in this series of trainings that we're doing, is that you guys saw yesterday how many people had a messy database, right? On two, had every single person was still in lead status, right? Dan would have been like, oh my goodness. So we had you guys clean up and look for opportunities. Also, look at your follow-up boss, look at your real scouts, see if the real scout number is super low. Well, why do you have all these people in real scout and low numbers in, or excuse me, every high numbers in follow-up boss and low numbers in real scout? So it's about cleaning the database up. So when you buckle in and you say, I'm going to make some prospecting calls, you have some direction, you have some focus. We're going to go further into that tomorrow. We're going to have an appointment setting workshop and really dive into some of the mechanics on how to best book appointments. We got into a little bit of that, but we did a lot of fixing prior. Now we're just going to go in. So here's my responsibility. Here's Vernon's responsibility. How can we help you guys find a few more deals this year, make more money, take that money, go on vacation, add to your bottom line, whatever it is. We want to help you get yourself in a better position to make more money this year. That's our responsibility. So excited about what's going on here, excited about what's going on in person. So if it's not on your calendar, if you have not time to block that out, make sure you get in the room. Back to you.
Get in the room. Get in the room. And before I go any further, there's a congratulatory energy that is needs to be directed towards a blessing. So before we started our database day yesterday, we're people of competition. I know I am. I love competition, and there's nothing like an incentive to really drive competition. So before we began, I opened my big ass mouth and committed to whoever set the most appointments at the conclusion of database day yesterday, $100 cash, right? And so I threw it out there. I wasn't even drunk yet, you guys. I mean, it was totally sober when I threw this out, right? So I threw this out, and you could see the hands getting all, the competitive nature, and the juices got to flowing. Well, when we left, it was a five-way tie. Okay. Multiple folks were able to set one appointment. I'm on my way home. I think I'm chopping it up with E like I normally do, or we were doing something. And we get this text message from Blessing. Blessing had broken the tie and was able to secure her second appointment. Now, I had to make her prove it. Hey, nephew, what's up, Tank? That's the homie right there. Um, Distracted me for a second with that handsome peachy pale skin he has and all those muscles that he's got. Look at them pectorals going on here. That's our future WWE superstar. I'm gonna be in the front row yelling like crazy when he jumps off the top rope. But Blessing hit us, and I made her prove that she was able to set the appointment from communication that actually happened in the database day, and she was. She snapshotted everything immediately. Blessing, congratulations to you. I hope that incentive really drove your outreach, drove your your desire to really want to push forward. It's always a blessing to be a blessing, particularly when you're being a blessing to someone whose name is Blessing. And so I'll
How
give
many times can you say blessing? Let's just keep going.
I will just, we'll keep it flow. Some will be directed to you, some will be directed to the Lord, but this is Thursday, not Sunday, so let's focus up. But congratulations to you, Blessing. Any feedback that you have, any contribution that you have before we really get cracking, I
Well,
would love to hear from you because you're $100 richer. Can I borrow $10?
no, it's always good to take your money, Vernon. So keep offering it and I will keep doing.
Make that a habit. Lisette she already claimed that seat. But anyway, here we go.
The biggest takeaway is just to take the action. I really was in my head about working through my database and I thought it was good, but I also recognized that the database not flowing was the biggest bottleneck to my success. So sitting down and looking at it, that's what I needed. So I'm truly grateful for even just the day, but it was always nice to get a little extra money from it too.
Hey, man. Hey, return on investment. One of those appointments set turns into an appointment met. That was $100 well invested. And I'm cool with that. And so the cool thing about being a blessing is we are a blessing to be a blessing. And so praise God on that one. Now we'll continue to move forward. Also, I want to shout out some of our Sacramento folks. We have folks, there's no excuses. Okay. They didn't make any excuses. They didn't come in any bullshit. They popped into the room like, what up though? We here from Sacramento, let's get it. And that just, really just made my heart smile because it just shows the level of commitment from each one of you on the call. Now, Mama San missed our scheduled 3 o'clock 1-to-1, but she was a grandma. So I'm gonna give her a pass on that one. That lid is beautiful. Gma is beautiful. I'm glad you had a good time with her. We want to spend as much time with our elders, our family as we can while they're above ground. I want to encourage you to that note. Give your folks flowers while they're living. Don't wait till they're not here anymore to miss them. Love on them while they're here. Little side note. Let's get straight into it. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to get into some of the feng shui of the day. Get me here. We go there. Then let me go here. And let's go there. Can everyone see my screen? Here's our topic for today. Last week we talked about momentum as we got brought into the field. Today we're going to talk about success. And before I go any further and I call on someone to read the next slide, I want to give you some permission. I want to give you permission to think differently. Not in the lane that you've always thought in, not in the lane that you thought that's got you to this point, but that in the lane that we need to think or that I want you to drive in that's going to catapult you into the next thing. See, the definition of insanity is clear. Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. That's insanity. However, success says, let me give myself permission to think differently. I'm going to ask Jacob because Jacob, you're in the middle of my screen. And Jacob, you were the first one in the space this morning to read this next slide, my man. Go ahead and read that for us.
All
Say
right.
it in the chat.
You are allowed to be wildly successful and not work that hard. You're allowed to wake up every single day and love what you do. You're allowed to get rich and be a good person. Stop making success conditional. Start making it inevitable
Inevitable.
and inevitable.
Inevitable. Stop making success conditional, conditioned upon the number of calls you make, conditioned upon how you feel, conditioned upon the way you were raised, conditioned upon what you had or what you did not have. Success is not conditional. Make it inevitable. You wake up in the morning, success is inevitable. Jacob, but enough of me. I want to hear from you and anyone else who has a contribution at the onset of the call. What does this statement mean to you, my man?
It means stop caring about what people think outside the box, and don't hold no limits against yourself. Forget what forget what you learned growing up and all those limiting beliefs, and shoot for the best.
Because you truly are limitless.
Right.
You truly are. Thank you for that contribution. Anyone else? Does this resonate with anyone else? Anyone else have any feedback, any insight, any contribution around this opening statement as it relates to success and you giving yourself the permission to think differently? Patrick, I saw your hand up first, my man. What's your contribution?
Yeah, no, I think this whole passage it says, your beliefs are really your limitations, right? And I want to add you're allowed to pat yourself in the back. I think we forget that. The daily we need to analyze what our little wins are, how little they are, and really give ourselves a pat on the back. And those little practices really just add up, in increments. And next thing you know, we're just super confident people, but we got to be our own cheerleaders at the end of the day.
So you took the words right out of my mouth. We are our biggest cheerleader. It's not our mama. It's not our girl. It's not your boy. It's not your children. It's not your father. It's not Elias. Shit, it ain't even me. Although we stand on the sidelines with big ass pom poms. Okay, we're men. We don't wear the skirts and shit. We got the jumpsuits, but we got the pom poms. Nevertheless, the point that I'm making is no one is a bigger cheerleader of yourself than yourself. So thank you for that contribution, Patrick. We got Lisa, and then Blessing, you're on deck, and then we're gonna move on to the next conversation point. Lisa, what you got?
It just reminded me of that part in the Limitless book where it talked about sometimes we have to forget the old thing, the old thinking patterns to reshape new, better habits.
I love that. I love that. Thank you for that contribution. Blessing, what you got? Except for my $100.
The very first line is actually really powerful in the fact that we can be wildly successful and not work that hard. Hard is not a prerequisite for success. Most of the time, if you are in flow, that's when everything is actually aligned and is clearly laid out, which is why we're always talking about what is your vision? Because if you're moving in that direction, everything flows in that direction. And the effort, maximum effort, is not the same as working that hard. That actually really landed for me today.
Oh, I love that. And to your point, Blessing, we have this cool saying, work smarter, not harder. And it sounds cool and it rhymes, but there's some real game in that when we peel back those layers. To be you're allowed. It's okay for you to be hella successful and not work that hard, only if you work smarter, right? So we do want to work smarter and not harder and give yourself permission to be wildly successful. It's okay. Here's my sentiment to you this morning. Give yourself permission to be a powerhouse. Now, I included the expletive to put an emphasis on the term powerhouse. But the most important and impactful term in this sentence is not you being a powerhouse, because you're already a powerhouse, whether you've discovered it, tapped into it, or not. What I want to emphasize is that you giving the power and you giving yourself permission. It's okay to be a powerhouse. Don't play small, play bigger. Give yourself permission to be a fucking powerhouse. And don't take anything less than that. That's my sentiment for this morning. Do I have any contributions, any feedback, any ahas, any insight before we go over to the next piece? Yeah? No? Okay, good deal. There was some things that really came about in the database day yesterday and that stood out to me. We're going to talk about that today. Dan, I'm glad you weren't in the space because you probably would have passed out for all of the leads that were still left in lead status.
No, don't worry. I see those on the back end all the time.
Oh man, you praise the Lord.
Hopefully you see less of them moving forward.
You should see less of them because we spent about 20 minutes. Elias made them spend about 20 minutes cleaning it up. Now, some had many more than others. I'm not going to say any names because we're not about calling folks on the carpet. Elias did that clearly and succinctly yesterday. But I would love to believe that we left our systems When we left yesterday's database, our systems were way tighter than they were when we came into that space. That, my friends, is called return on investment. So let me ask you a question. We're going to talk about setting the appointment today. There are some calls that we're going to listen to. There's some work that we really want you to contribute after listening to the call. There's some questions that Dan's going to pose to you because what I'm learning, what I'm seeing based upon listening to recorded calls, looking at our appointment set percentage, and looking at our lead statuses, our notations and follow-up balls, our appointment set in the right task pane or not, is this. We're not setting the appointment. We're not going in for the hard setting of the appointment within the first 15 seconds of the call. Yeah, our ALM score from Zillow is in the 90%. And congratulations to you guys because that's been a shift in our momentum, in our direction in terms of our deliverable around that metric. However, the appointment set rate percentage is 30 to 40% less than what our ALM score is in our performance metrics. And there are a couple of reasons for that. Dan seems to believe, in giving you guys credit, that it's just simply a result of you not categorizing your lead status. I'm saying fuck that. That could be a part of it, but I'm not hearing us go for the appointment raw and uncut directly. That's what we're going to focus on today. Because if we set the appointment, it's highly probable that we'll meet more of those appointments, given that our sequence and our cadence and our flow between those two metrics are perfected. If we meet more appointments, we're going to show more homes, we're going to write more offers, we're going to have a higher conversion rate, which equates to more leisure, fun in your personal lives. But it starts with picking up the phone. But in the context of today's conversation, it starts with setting the appointment. So are you setting the appointment? Dan, this is a perfect segue to pass the microphone to you, my dude. I'm going to put myself on mute. Rock with it.
Cool. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a couple calls. We're going to listen through to these. If anyone who is on this call has one of their calls played, again, as always, I'm not trying to call anyone out specifically. These were just some examples of situations that all of you should listen to and ask yourself the question, was the appointment booked? Did the customer walk away with a locked-in appointment? Did we secure that relationship? So we'll play it. We'll do a quick debrief. We'll roll on to another one. Again, this is different from the usual call listing that we do where it's sort of general, how did the call go? The one only question I want you all to focus on as you're listening to these calls was the appointment booked? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We'll get that one pulled up. And while I'm doing that, Vernon, actually, I don't know if you're going to announce this later, but do you want to mention about the change in schedule? Make sure everyone's got that for the clinic in 2 weeks.
Yes,
But
we do. Since you've mentioned it, bro, you have the microphone, my guy. Go straight for it.
Would you mind? My multitasking skills aren't that great, and I
Okay,
lost
cool.
the call.
In case you guys are not connected to Slack, which I hope that's not anyone on this call, there's been some schedule shifts as it relates to our Zillow Mastermind meetup in person and our cocktails for converters that was scheduled for the 27th. So let me preface a few things. First thing is we've moved it from the 27th Thursday to the 25th Tuesday. Same bat time, same bat channel, same bat location, just different day. So please, it's on the team calendar, but we want to announce it today. We'll announce it next Thursday. We'll announce it up until the actual day of the event. But Zillow Mastermind in person is been moved to the 25th, same time. Cocktails for Converters is also going to follow or be in the afternoon following the Zillow Flex Mastermind. Here's the criteria for you to receive your invite to the Cocktails for Converters. If you've closed an online lead, regardless of what lead source it's from, Realtor.com, OpCity, HomeLight, Zillow Flex, and any other Ojo that I may be missing, if you've converted an online lead within the past 6 months, you will receive a formal invitation to Cocktails for Converters. If you were a partner in the deal and you were, say, the support agent and not the lead agent, unfortunately, For this event, that does not count. You have to be the lead agent. Yep. Thank you, Elias. I'm getting there too. You have to be the lead agent on the transaction that is closed, a converted lead to be invited. Also, if you are in contract and your close of escrow is beyond March 25th, but you're in pending status, congratulations, you will receive an invitation to Cocktails for Converters. The cutoff is March 18th. So if you don't have a pending contract or a closed transaction from an online lead conversion to date, you have until the 18th to get your name in the hat. You get into contract by the 18th, you will be invited to for Converters. It's going to be held at Planks right around the corner from HQ. It's going to be super fun. We'll be laughing, eating, drinking, shooting the shit, and celebrating our wins as we really tighten the threads of our functioning village and our collective wisdom. That's what I got.
All right, perfect, because I'm ready with this call. So we're going to jump into it and listen in. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear the audio on this.
Oh, we don't hear anything yet. Negative.
Hello?
There we
Hello?
go. Can you hear it?
Vipa?
Yes, this is Vipa.
Hey, this is Stephanie with EXP Zillow Flex. How are you?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
This is Stephanie with EXP Zillow Flex.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that you were interested in a property in Pinot, 2412 Alamo Street in Pinot.
Yes, I am interested in that.
Yes, I noticed that you wanted to do a touring tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Yes, correct. 2 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and call the listing agent just to double check that that time is a good time to look at it. If that time doesn't work, is there an additional time or day that you'll be able to look at it?
If it's earlier, we might. Yeah, I may be available.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. And I noticed this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, perfect. Is this the only property that you want to look at, or have you been looking at other properties?
Currently, I just looked at the property, and then that's the only one. Sorry.
Okay, perfect. And are you interested in looking at other properties, or?
I'm interested, but I'll look for it by myself for now.
Okay, sounds good. So let me call the listing agent, double check on the timing, and see if that works for you. And if it does, I'll let you know as soon as possible. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Excuse me.
Yeah. So I said I'm gonna check on the property, and then I'll let you know as soon as possible. Is that okay with you?
Yes, that is fine.
Okay. Okay, perfect. And then okay, so I'll give you a call back.
All right. Thank you.
Question to the group. In the chat, Elias, I know you got thoughts on this, but that one question was the appointment booked. Did we hear the appointment booked?
Did she book the appointment?
Yeah, take yourself off mute.
They can just talk.
No, she did not. She walked and danced around it, but she didn't actually concretely book this appointment. I was confused, so I'm sure the seller was confused, or buyer.
Yep. How many of you, raise your hands, it's all right to be honest, how many of you have ended a call like that or feel like you've had a conversation like that with a customer? I know I have, right? What was the line? What did you guys hear her say? That kind of sounded like it might have been an appointment booked. ALM might have scored that as correct from Zillow, but we would not score that as correct on our side. Lisa, did I see your hand up? What do you got? Take yourself off mute.
So she said she would check with the agent to find out if it was available and she'd call him back, but it wasn't like, okay, so I'm going to check and then I will call you at X time to verify. And if so, then I'll meet you at 2. I didn't hear that.
That's because she
Right.
didn't.
And okay. And so, and Patrick, I see you in the chat here, no clear next steps. So what would be the right way to wrap up that call? What would be a strong ending that we should have heard at the end of that call? Anyone, take yourself off mute. This can be super basic, straightforward.
Just
I
say,
hear a lot of you doing this all the time.
call
Yeah,
you back
Jay.
in like 15 minutes or so.
What's that?
Just let him know that you're gonna be calling him back to expect a call for the exact
Okay,
time.
but go a step further than that. What's an even stronger way to end?
I'll see you tomorrow at 2.
I'll see you tomorrow at 2. Boom. That's it. I'll let you know if we can't meet for some reason, but I'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Locked. Done. Simple. Vernon, Elias, any other contributions on that, on the appointment setting?
Not at the point, not at this point. We're going to let us listen to a few more calls and then really going to dissect it. I see he took himself off of mute, so go for it, Coach.
Yeah, so there's a couple nuances there. This call was really hard for me to listen to. She said that we are not Zillow Flex, or excuse me, that we're Zillow Flex. Zillow Flex is the program. That is agent facing, program facing. A consumer does not know what Zillow Flex is. So I think you guys heard that early on. And then, are you interested? Are you interested? What did he say? He said, oh, I'll find them on my own. No, I want to make the best use of your time while you're out here. At least I know a couple other houses that fit that same exact criteria. Let's go check those out to make the best use of your time. And then she said, is that okay with you? Like, is that okay with you? Like, those types of questions leave room for them to say, no, that's not okay with me. Here's what we're going to do next. This is what we do. Take them and say, listen, we're going to set the appointment for 2 o'clock tomorrow. If anything changes, I'm going to let you know, but let me make sure, confirm with seller availability, and I'll be right back with you. But let's at least secure that time for tomorrow at 2 p.m. Like, there was just no assertiveness on that phone call. That's what I heard. Lack of assertiveness.
All right, so we're going to go rapid fire. We're going to hit one more call. I'm going to skip the first minute or so of this, and we'll get into it. Same question to everyone else. Did we hear the appointment booked? So let me share my screen, pull it up here.
Give it to him, Dan.
All right.
Go.
So, I mean, that's my question. How much would y'all want? The lowest? And then, you know, how many years? You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, this is a different one, but we'll listen to this one anyway.
We're connecting you to a local agent now.
Hey, morning, Morris. This is Mark with EXP Realty, your Zillow Premier Partner. How's your day going?
Good. How about you?
It's going good. It's going good. Hey, I see that you want to see the property here in Richmond.
Yeah, I was trying to see, like, you know, is there a way I could do a loan, or, you know, how's the plans, you know?
Oh yeah. When it comes to a loan, how much money do you have down about it?
I mean, the place is 215, so I mean that's my question. How much would y'all want? The lowest, and then you know how many years? You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, let's do this. Do you have time today to go check it out first, and then I can break down all the details for you?
I mean, I'd rather just know kind of the prices, because I'm really interested in it. I seen a couple pictures of it. I kind of like it.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. I mean, let me see. So when it comes to a loan, I mean, if I can get you in to talk to my loan officer, so you can see exactly how much money we can get you, just to get you qualified.
Yeah.
Because like all I do is I send you a loan application link, right? And don't worry, my loan officer, he doesn't run your credit and all that stuff, and then we can see if you can afford this home. And I know like when it comes to the price, like it's been on the market for a while, and also like most of the time we'll probably like come in at the listing price that you see, and then so I can send that loan application link to you right now if you like.
Yeah, can you? Because I'm just trying to see if I'm pre-qualified, because
All right. So the end of the call doesn't end too much different than that. So the question to everyone, did we book an appointment?
Fuck no.
No. All right, so I want to throw a question out to everyone. If the client, in that situation, the client was saying he didn't want to go and see the property, they wanted to get pre-approved first, and if they push back on that a lot, which I think we can get through, but if they say, no, I want to get a pre-approval, how can you still book an appointment with that objection?
I kind of
Go for it,
uh,
Tim.
Yeah,
I kind of ran into something similar. I didn't book the appointment either actually, and I was just thinking about what I should have said, but pretty much this lady's like, "Oh, I like this home," and then I looked at her search Zillow search history. I was like, "Do you want to see it? Do you want to see a couple other ones?" And then um, pretty much she said she was really interested, and then I was like, "Yeah, did you want to see it?" And then she said, "Not really, but I want to know like more about the home first." So yeah, I think at the time I should have been like, well, how do you know if you want to like move forward with your purchase if you don't see the home or something like that? Maybe just like kind of throw it back on um kind of the point, which is like you're looking for a home, you're motivated, but you know, how do you know if you're, interested in the home in the first place if you're not going to see it? So I don't know. That's
yeah,
just
and
something I would have thought.
and Tim, I think I see the parallels of with this one. I've got some thoughts on yours, but let's circle back to the other one. And Vernon, do you have thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's really simple in terms of setting the appointment, right? Any of the questions that he's asking around pricing, lender, so on and so forth, I'd be happy to compose all that information for you. We can have that. I can present this data to you when we meet at the property. Let's go ahead and set tomorrow at 123 Main Street for 2 o'clock. I promise to come prepared with all of some resources to answer all of your questions while we're walking the property. Revert back to scheduling the appointment. Lock in on the appointment, period, the end. I'm going to say, Aaron, I see you with your hand up, but Dan, I don't care who that agent was on the receiving end. Whoever that agent was on the receiving end, you pause their ass right fucking now. Okay? Whoever that agent is going to be paused right now. And then you can let me know who that is because me and that agent need to sit down and have a conversation. Because quite frankly, that is a wasted lead being transferred that is company generated where we did not handle that in the accurate in the accurate manner to book the appointment. Okay. We do not talk about lenders when we're on the initial call. Period. The end. So you guys forgive me for my rawness, but it's good that you are exposed to this. Dan, whoever that agent is paused effective a fucking immediately.
And here's the thing, you guys. I know who this agent is. We obviously heard the name early on. I know exactly who it is from just tonality, right? Just tonality. And I know this person. This person's a beast. Just in tonality, what did you hear from a confidence level from that agent? Let's just talk tonality. What did you guys hear as somebody that does enough of this, takes enough calls? What did you all hear? Take yourself off of mute.
The problem was the lack of confidence. He was so confused on that call. The buyer, the caller was completely in control 100%. And did I hear him say he'll send an application, a lending application? Christ have mercy. I'm confident there's some RESPA laws. So we're not mortgage brokers, y'all. That was concerning.
So let's go back to just the tonality, right? The tonality did not say that I'm in charge. I got you. I'm going to educate you through this process. It sounds like you have some questions about the buying process. How did you land on that number? Wonderful. I'm going to help you with all of those things and make sure to answer all of your questions. Here's what we do first.
Exactly.
Like set the stage. And I know this agent, he is a great agent and he is a top producer. Maybe it was just an off day.
Well, his ass is paused until his top producing ass. Aaron, what you got, brother? What's your contribution?
Now, I mean, let me know if I would go about this the wrong way, but the way that they were acting like they didn't want to see the property, I would have scheduled the appointment at one of the local offices with the lender. And if they want to go over a buyer's consultation and the loan application, then to get an idea. And then I would also kind of put out there that I'll keep note of this property that they flagged us on and add some extra ones that fit within whatever your pre-approval is. But because he seems so laser focused on knowing what his loan is, I would have shifted my attention to just setting an appointment at one of our local offices where I can have a lender there with us and we can talk through it. So correct me if that's not the way I should set the appointment, but in the spirit of setting an appointment when you're getting a little bit of pushback with regards to something totally different, that's kind of the approach I would go with. And then I agree, the confidence in what he was saying, it just was, they messed everything up where he couldn't even propose that because I don't know what they would do. Like
Elias just alluded to it in the chat. Book the appointment. Okay. If it's booking the appointment at the property, if it's booking the appointment to meet at one of the offices and then go to the property, book the appointment. Get in front of the client by any means necessary. So, Aaron, I would call that thinking on your toes. You're picking up the feedback that he's giving you and you're finding a creative way to book the appointment. So, yes, absolutely. Think on your
Yeah, and
feet. Book the
Blessing said that. Sorry, Blessing said that in the chat too. Of a buyer's consultation, getting face to face with a person, that is an appointment,
Yeah.
right? That is an appointment. We're not going to sell them that first house anyway. So if you book an appointment to get face to face with them for a buyer's consultation, whether it's Zoom, whether it's in the office, or even a callback with your lender on the line as a three-way, like that is an appointment, and we can absolutely still book to that.
Excellent. Excellent. That was, hey, Dan, that was a good one right there. I didn't know you had that one.
That was a juicy one.
That was
All right. I know I got one more, but Vernon, I know we're tight on time. So if we want to shift to your
Yeah,
next.
well, my brother, we've got 18 minutes. So what our last phase that we had built out in our itinerary, we're not going to get there. So if you want to present another call to us, that's great. Then I'll go into the last piece of our presentation. We'll call that a wrap. We'll dissect that and we'll pick it back up where we left off at next week's conversion clinic.
And
Great.
one thing I like to do when people call like that and they're just kind of wanting to get information, I always make them feel good by saying, like, I commend you for even calling me and taking action.
There you go.
You put the key in the ignition, you're starting the engine. Now we need to meet so I could help you plan to get to your destination. So they're feeling happy, like they took some action. Then you're setting the objective that we need to meet so I can help you get to your destination. So that's already right there. They're already sold on you. So you just got to play their emotions right, because he was low energy. He was matching his low energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You got to bring them up and make them feel good, and then come back and set the expectations. Then they're going to want to meet with you. It's all emotion.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff, Chris. Good stuff. Thank you for that contribution. Dan, go ahead and rock it, bro.
All right, we got one more call here. This is the one that I'm going to fast forward through the first 40 seconds of, because it's just bad connection left and right. I apologize if you guys can't hear my audio. I've been trying to tweak the settings on my side too. So I'm not sure what else to do other than just have you keep your ear really close to those speakers. So, all right, we'll go ahead and share this one. Same question. Did we book an appointment?
So I see that you're interested in 3001, 3005 Harrison Street, correct?
Yes, I want more information about it.
Yeah. So I've gotten a little bit more information on this for my past clients, and just letting you know, it is a big fixer. And then as far as tenants, I can check up on that for you. I just have to look back in my notes. But are you really just getting this more for your investment property, or are you looking to move in?
Basically for the investment, but I'm looking for. I don't know how long the tenant is living in there. I'm not sure if we can move it. You said You said it's more fixer up, so.
Yeah, it's a fixer upper. There's not too much remodeling has been done to the property, so just want to give you a heads up on that.
Mm-hmm.
And is it just you that's looking to buy, or do you have partners, or do you have a family?
Just me. I got my family, but I'm just go to get more investment. Yes.
Right. Okay. And is this like the specific area you're looking in when it comes to San Francisco?
I know where they are, so I know San Francisco, but I'm just looking for opportunity to buy it. But I know it's like you said, it's got a lot of remodel. It's okay, so we got to look at it. There is any way to see it inside?
Well, yeah, that's the thing is because there's tenants, it's it has to be a 24-hour notice, and on top of that, it's most of the time it's all about what works for the tenants and the agent. So I'll have to coordinate on that. I guess what's your best day and time that you would like to see the property? When are you most free?
On the weekends.
Okay, on the weekends.
Yes.
Well, if I'll check with the agent today, and if we can maybe see something tomorrow, I'll let you know. Okay.
That'll work. Do you know how much they pay on rent right now?
I'll have to get that information from the MLS and the agent. Okay. And I'll get back to you shortly.
That'll work. Okay.
All right, Raul. Again, my name is David. What I'll do is I'll text you over my information, and I'll get the information from the agent on this property and get it scheduled out for Sunday. Okay.
Okay, that'll work.
What time tomorrow works for you though?
Tomorrow, anytime. So just give me the time tomorrow.
Anytime. Perfect.
Maybe,
That's
by
that's
noon.
perfect. Yeah.
Maybe
Usually
noon.
by noon.
So
Okay.
Just giving some time for the tennis.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. I appreciate it, Raul.
Okay.
I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to put myself on mute.
All right. I think we had a lot of action in the chat on that. Thoughts? Did we hear an appointment booked?
No.
No. No appointment booked. What could we have done in this situation? It was tenant occupied, 24-hour notice. Yeah, there was a lot of complication for it. But what could you have done if this was you on the call to still book the appointment?
I think just get multiple times. But yeah, I think I'm guilty of also like not specifying one time, because what I do is I ask them maybe like 2 times that works for them, and then I also check it with my schedule. But yeah,
The death of these leads is all right, give me a couple of times. Let me call you back. I'm going to check with the agent and I'll get back to you on the time. Never, right?
Yeah.
Tentatively book a time. I just saw that pop up in the chat. I don't know who just said that, but that's exactly right. Ronnie, what do you got on here?
I mean, we deal with these kind of calls all the time, and this conversation could have been shorter, to be honest. But I think there's so much hesitation on our side. It's kind of like one thing I would never bring up. Oh, by the way, it's a fixer. I mean, it doesn't really matter, because I think at the end of the day, if you're trying to book the appointment, you go bring the client over there, you assess the situation, and then yeah, you will try to coordinate with the listing agent. But the biggest thing here is book the appointment and have them face to face with you and figure out what the next steps are.
Yep. Just get the appointment. If it's complicated too, if there's tenants, if 24-hour notice, whatever, just book a time 48 or 72 hours out and just say like, let's plan for this, but I'll let you know. Elias, what do you got?
Remove all friction. How many of you guys felt that he was almost too busy to take this appointment on? Then that he was almost trying to talk the consumer out of booking it. I felt like he was talking himself out of an appointment. I felt like he could have gone for the appointment. We'll work out all the details later. If it's not this one, it'll be the next one, but let's set an appointment. Like just set the appointment. I felt like he was creating friction that didn't need to be created. And then I wrote in the chat there at the bottom, just give me the time. The consumer told him, like, give me a time. I'm calling you guys. Lead the way. You guys, consumers need to be led. Lead, be assertive, and take them through this process, and you'll win. So that's my contribution. Let's go over.
Jacob, Otis, what do you guys got?
I know most times when we take these calls, I know probably all of us is guilty. You'll see a price point or something like that, and I think that changes people's, aspects of what's to expect or anything like that. But we're here all to serve clients. So I mean, if you're not going to serve somebody that's 200, 300 and only just trying to get the millions, you got to bring that same fucking energy to all of them, because you don't know these people. These are complete strangers that you don't even know how much they're fucking approved for. So even though they're looking at a house that's 300, they could easily afford maybe a $700 million house, but you don't know. So you got to keep that in mind. And I think that, yeah, Elias is right. It seems like he was given every opportunity. I don't know exactly how much the price point was or whatever reason why it seemed like that. But if you don't want to be on here taking these leads because the 20, 35% of it, 40%, whatever, fuck, get out the way and let somebody else get on that shit. Cause I'll take it. Somebody else here will take it. Just keep the same energy. I know it's kind of hard when we get calls out of the blue and everything like that, but I think everybody's on here been on for enough time to how to properly do one of these and stop getting blustered and frustrated. Even if you're completely smashed, probably sound like my boy Mark had a hard night. He was just trying to get through some shit. But at the end of the day, it's no excuse. Like, just do the ALM and hang up. That's the second call is always, if you want to talk to an hour for these motherfuckers on the phone, do it on the second call. Get the ALM so it doesn't hurt all of us, so we can keep our shit going and, be a team player. Don't take a call like this and be an individual and start making it, and I'm not going to show, I'm trying to get this person out. So that's only my sentiment. I'm sorry to be so graphic with it, but shit, I'm trying to get my shit back and start seeing some of these 2 million ones too, man. So, get it. Let's get it right. We listen, but we don't judge.
That's what we do. Everybody in here 18 and over, we get graphic in this bitch. Oh, excuse me.
Vert, I'm going to pass it back to you because for a time check.
Time check, 8 minutes. Patrick, do you have a contribution?
Yeah, just real quick. I think, sometimes we tour a lot of properties, and sometimes we tour these properties that we kind of build certain emotions on, like, hey, I don't think it's a good deal. But like, you never know what the new lead will think about that certain property. So don't, take your personal emotions out of that property and still make it exciting. I mean, you're a salesman at the end of the day, sell that property that you think is junk, make that treasure for them. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's a fixture, blah, blah. Like, that whatever, that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So that's just my 2 cents. Take your emotions out of your property and get that point.
I love it. I love it. Dan, I'm going to take the microphone back over. Hey, thank you guys for your contributions. And thank you for your feedback. Those are some great example calls. I'm going to share my screen really quick because I really want to make sure that we have the cadence, right? We have the cadence. Whoa. Oh, that's something Elias just sent me. Sorry about that, guys. There's a science to this shit, you guys. And let's just get straight into it. We heard 3 separate calls where they were not setting the appointment. And we dissected why they weren't setting the appointment, what was missing. Sound like some of the calls were deterring from setting an appointment. So that we all know, we put this together for you as a script, if you will. How you open the conversation, how you introduce yourself is going to determine the flow, the control, and your presentation as it relates to you being the professional or not. How you start off. Okay. Hello, this is Vernon. This is Vernon with Team Fast, Zillow Premier Partner, real estate expert in the Bay Area. I saw 1, 2, 3. Great. What other properties? Let's just go ahead and set that up. When you're starting strong with your strong intro, you are establishing that you are the professional and that you are here to help them navigate through the process of identifying a property and ultimately conversion. Okay. We're the professionals here. We don't want to hear the you tell me. No, they're calling, they hit a button, there was an emotion that triggered a motion. The emotion, I want to see that trigger the motion of hitting the button, yes, connect me to an agent. When they're connected to you as an agent, the expectation is that you are the professional and that you are the resource that has all ability and knowledge base to answer their questions. We start off with setting the appointment. First 15 seconds, the appointment needs to be set. Here is the script. Take a picture of it. I don't give a shit what you do with it, but calculate it to memory. And then let's put it in the application. You are specific, who you are, who we are, relationship with Zillow, straight to the appointment. You want to see 123 Main Street? Cool. Let me go ahead and set that up for you. Let's plan to go see that tomorrow or today, tomorrow, whatever the time is, but set the appointment. Once you set the appointment, there is a transition. There's a science to converting. This shit doesn't happen on accident. It happens through preparation and intentionality of executing a proven sequence. While I'm setting that up for you, what did you love about it? We're learning about motivation, we're learning about location, so on and so forth. We're opening the door through this transition to be able to maximize the time that we're spending with that lead by doing what? Trying to turn that one property tour into 4. It's almost back in the days when we was hustling, you turn $100 into $400. It's the same concept. You take advantage of the opportunity that we have from this company generated lead that has been transferred to your damn phone. Let's properly prepare to prevent a poor performance. And these cadences here, the strong intro, transitioning into the L and the M of the equation is how we stay properly prepared. What I didn't hear on any of those 3 calls is clear, definitive next steps. Here's what we're going to do next. Here's the cadence. Right after this call, this is what you can expect. This is how you'll know it's me. This is how you're going to reach me. Here's what I'm going to do after this. I'm going to reach out to the seller. What did you guys hear? I heard listing agent. That is the wrong language to use, period, the end. You are going to coordinate with the seller. I'm going to pull up some additional homes. I'm going to bring them to the showing. I'll put together a buyer tour. You can expect that link. I'm going to have a recap email of the conversation. Clear, definitive next steps. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, Thursday, whatever that looks like. Oh, let me get back out of that. Was that clear? I know I ran through that. If any of you guys want any of those slides, I'll have Dan, we'll send those to you. But there is a cadence to converting. There is a science to converting, and you are the professional. You're the expert. You take the baton, which is the lead that's asking and looking for help, and you navigate them through the process because you know what the process is. They don't. That's why they're reaching out to us. So today's conversation was simply about this. Set the fucking appointment. Set the appointment. I don't care what the objection is. Set the appointment. I don't care what their feedback is. Set the appointment because you're capitalizing on human psychology, and their psychology, the emotion triggered the motion. Capitalize on that. The reason that they're being transferred to you is because they are in an emotional state. They're triggered emotion that they want to see the property. They may have questions about the numbers, but the prompt within Zillow is, do you want to schedule an appointment? Yeah, I want to schedule an appointment. So when you get them on the phone, schedule the fucking appointment. How does that settle with you all? Apologize for my explicitives this morning. I'm feeling explicitory. Any feedback? Any insights? Any contribution? I know I'm crazy. Y'all know I'm crazy. If you've been around me long enough, you already know what this is. If you're new, you'll get used to it. Any questions?
I want to say something. I think maybe like something that I'm running into, and I think like I see a pattern in a bunch of these calls is like you said, maybe trying to do discovery too early, and just not booking appointments and locking it in before you try to talk to them, and then it kind of makes everything a little difficult afterwards because it opens up the conversation into so many different possibilities. So yeah, that's my takeaway for today.
I love that, Tim. Thank you for that. To Tim's point, let's keep it simple. Set the appointment, understand their location, dig the motivation. That equips you with the discovery. Discovery happens when? Discovery happens when you meet the appointment. That's the context of your conversation. You're discovering things. You don't do that prematurely. Okay, there's a sequence to converting. There's a science to the equation. Set the appointment, do your follow-up, Whatever your cadence and your follow-up sequence are, you meet the appointment. That's the discovery phase of the equation. Tim, to Tim's point, we don't want to get to discovery on the first damn call and trying to send a damn link to a lender. The hell is that? Book the appointment, follow-up cadence, meet the appointment, discover more, build the relationship, and then you lead them down the path of equation. Listen, you guys are elite converters. Every last one of you, including the 3 people on those calls. This is how we learn. I'm not getting on anyone's helmet. My objective is to ensure that we perform at the highest level. Okay? So that means that we get into the think tank, we draw shit up, we dissect shit, we modify shit, because production is the name of the game. Today was simply about setting the appointment. Dan, I appreciate you, my brother, as always. Elias, you already know what it is. I thank each and every one of you for your contributions, right? Your insights. Josh, it's good to see you 2 days in a row, bro. I'm looking forward to seeing you even further. You know, dudes with ink and sleeves and shit, we got to stick together.
Yeah, I'll
Straight
be
up.
there tomorrow, so I'll see you tomorrow.
Let's go. Hey, get to converting. The next call that you receive, you set the fucking appointment within the first 15 seconds. Coon, we heard you doing a mock call, acting like you was a lead trying to buy a house through Zillow.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
you feel me? I was on here.
Hey, listen. In the meantime,
Zillow.
I'm looking forward to you guys crushing it this week. You're already crushing it for the month. Keep it going. In the meantime, Grace, peace and blessings to you. Let's go.